Attention Ralph Emery Show affiliate stations, there are 2 promos. They will be about 2 or 3 seconds apart. There will not be any spiral in between them. Coming up in 5 seconds.
Hello, I'm little Jimmy Dickens, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with you on the Ralph Emery Show. I hope you'll be listening.
Hello, everybody. This is Ralph Emery, and on our next show, our guest will be a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, the newest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, little Jimmy Dickens, an American legend. I hope you'll listen. Again, hello, everybody. Welcome to our show. This is Ralph Emery sitting here in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. I'm about to lose my voice. And our special guest star is the newest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, little Jimmy Dickens. Tater, welcome to the show.
Hello, Ralph Emery. I'm happy to be visiting with you, sir.
You doing all right?
Doing just fine.
You have got to be an excited man.
Excited and busy, busy, busy.
Has the winning the Hall of Fame award changed your life a great deal?
It's changed it. I'm getting up earlier answering the phone nowadays.
Has it caused an increase in your demand on the road?
It looks like 1984 will be an extremely good year for us, Ralph, and busy.
Well, I've got a lot of things to talk to you about. However, I want to get into a little music, and then we'll get back to these other things. May the bird of paradise fly up your nose was a favorite expression of Johnny Carson's. Is that where the song came from?
That's where the whole thing came from, Ralph. And my friend Neil Merritt was DJing out in El Paso, Texas, when he wrote this particular song. And, of course, my friend Hap Wilson brought it to me during we were doing an album for the Columbia people, and I'm glad he brought it in when he did.
All right. Now, did Mr. Carson ever hear the record?
Yes, I'm sure he did. I went in and did his show after.
You were on the Tonight Show?
Yes, sir.
What was his reaction to this song?
Well, he seemed to appreciate it very much. I mean, he had some comment about it. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he approved of it.
Well, it became a hit song, and his words became immortal. And they became immortal in this song. Let's go with May the Bird of Paradise Fly Up Your Nose.
One fine day as I was a-walking down the street, spied a beggar man with rags upon his feet. Took a penny from my pocket, in his tin cup I did drop it, and I heard him say as I made my retreat, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes, may your wife be flagged with runners in her hose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose. My laundryman is really on his toes. Found $100 bill among my clothes. When he called me, I came running, gave him back his dime for phoning, and I heard him saying as I turned to go, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes, may your wife be flagged with runners in her hose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose. I was way behind one day to catch a train. The taxi driver said, we'll make it just the same. A speed cop made it with us, and as he wrote out the ticket, I stood by politely waiting for my change. May the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes, may your wife be flagged with runners in her hose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes.
One of the great love songs of country music. Think anybody ever held hands to that song, Jimmy?
I don't know if they did or not, Ralph.
That was Was that the biggest record of your career?
The biggest selling record, yes.
Well, all right. Tell me why you're making a difference. You say biggest selling.
Well, of course, the old Cold Tater and Sleeping at the Foot of the Bed, and those were big records in their day. And in those days, they only had a top 10, like top 10 records in the cash box or the Billboard. And so this particular song was popular in the pop field also, and in the rock and roll field.
Wait a minute. Hold it. May the Bird of Paradise was a rock and roll hit.
It was in the rock and roll charts. It was in the pop charts and easy listening. Would you believe that?
No, I wouldn't.
It was.
I mean, I don't think of easy listening as being what I just heard.
Well, it wasn't very easy listening for me, but
I mean, that'll punch you in the back and make you get up or make you tap your toes.
well, it was in those charts.
Well, you've heard Jimmy Dickens open our show with May the Bird of Paradise Fly Up Your Nose. What would you say if I told you could have a 20-piece set of Famous Maker silverware absolutely free? Get your pencil and paper handy because I'm going to explain how in a moment. But first, I want to tell you about a fantastic product. It's a beautiful set of stainless steel mixing bowls called Royal DuraSteel. You got a complete set of 6 sparkling stainless steel bowls with perfect fit plastic covers so you can mix, serve, and store all in the same bowl. You'll use the 3-quart for serving nuts, the 1-quart for beating eggs, the 1.5-quart for mixing cakes, the 2-quart for mixing hamburger or tuna salad, the 3-quart for a garden salad, and the huge 5-quart for just about everything, plus a giant 3-quart colander that holds pounds of pasta or potatoes. And there's more. You also got a complete 7-piece set of professional quality stainless steel utensils, including a skimmer, a large ladle, a serving spoon, a serving fork, a spatula, a whisk, and even a stainless steel wall rack to hang them on. It's a beautiful kitchenware set that's built to last forever. And what about the 20-piece set of Famous Maker silverware I told you about? It's yours free with a set of Royal DuraSteel bowls for the low price of only $29.99. Visa and MasterCard customers call toll-free 1-800-453-6900 or send $29.99 plus $2 shipping and handling to DuraSteel free silverware offer, care of Ralph Emery, Box 8R, Nashville, Tennessee, 37202. Or phone 1-800-453-6900. This is a money-back guaranteed offer. Jimmy, on this occasion, we will play your records and we will play other people's records. Why don't you bring on a pretty girl and then we'll get back to Jimmy Dickens. I've got something special I want to share with these folks.
All right. This lovely lady, of course, everyone knows about her great talent, and I know they're going to enjoy this fine record. It's Tell Me a Lie by Janie Fricke.
Tell me a lie. Say I look familiar. Oh, I know that you don't even know my name. Tell me a lie. Say you just got into town, even though I've seen you here before, just hanging around. Tell me a lie. Say you're not a married man, 'cause you don't know I saw you slip off your wedding band. Ooh, tell me a lie. Say you got no place to stay, but you'll be glad to drive me home, 'cause it's on your way. Tell me a lie when you take me home. Tell me a lie. I don't really want to spend the night alone. Tell me a lie. Don't worry about my sorrow. You'll be long gone tomorrow, and you won't have to see me cry. Just tell me a lie. Tell me a lie. Come on, tell me that you need me, and I'll pretend that it's for real, the way you want me to. Please tell me a lie when you're lying close beside me, and whisper when you hold me almost over, and make it easy on us both when it's time for you to go. Come on, tell me a lie, say you'd really like to stay. Just tell me one more lie, that you'll be back one day. Tell me a lie, let me take me home. Tell me a lie, I don't really want to spend the night alone. Tell me a lie, don't worry about my sorrow. You'll be long gone tomorrow, and you won't have to see me cry. Just tell me a lie.
Miss Janie Fricke here on the Ralph Emery Show, and that's called Tell Me a Lie. Jimmy, how tall is Jimmy Dickens?
Jimmy Dickens is 4 feet 11.
I suppose you've taken advantage of this in show business. One thing I seem to recall is that you always seem to play a guitar that's bigger than you are. Now, you could play a little guitar. They come in all sizes.
I know they do.
Why do you play the biggest guitar you can find?
I think it's good for the image. Yeah, I play the big guitar and always have. And of course, on my stage routines and on all of my material that I use as gags and jokes and so forth, they're all built around Jimmy Dickens' size, and it's always worked real good for me.
What else do you do to emphasize your size, to play off of your stature?
Well, nothing more than that. I just build a few gags around my size and being little and so forth.
Can you give me one that you might tell on stage?
Well, I'm so short, every time I pull my socks up, I blindfold myself.
I see. Okay.
Things like that.
Now, you know what? I think I have mentioned this on this show, and it amazes me. Basketball has really changed a lot. Now, if you ever go out and stand on a basketball court before a game, you'll notice that if you're an average 6-foot person, you're not near as tall as anybody. They're all 6'6", 6'4", 6'10", 6'11". But Jimmy Dickens, in his day in high school, was an all-star basketball player. What position did you play?
I played forward, and I don't think I was an all-star, but I did play varsity basketball.
You started?
Yes.
So you were one of the starting 5?
That's right.
Forward. 4'11".
4'11".
How tall was the center on your team?
I don't recall, Ralph, but we had some pretty tall boys on there.
Where was this?
In Trap Hill High School in Surveyor, West Virginia. It was a district high school.
All right. You must have been pretty. Weren't you even short for your era?
Yeah, I was shorter then than I am now.
How tall were you then?
I don't recall right offhand. About 4'8".
How can
like
a 4'8" kid get on a starting 5?
I don't know, but I did do that, and I played pretty good basketball.
Was it a small school?
It was a district school.
Well, you must have been sensational. I'm surprised you didn't play guard though at that height, 4'8". How tall were the guards? 4'3".
Average size basketball players in the high school team.
Now, back in those days, a guy who was 6'2" was unheard of almost. If you were 6 or 6'2", you played center.
That's true. We had a little guy that played on the Marsh Fork District High School varsity club that wasn't any much taller than me, and he was much better basketball player than I was.
Jimmy, aren't some of your artifacts in the Country Music Hall of Fame from that era?
Yes, sir, my high school sweater is in there.
The letter you won for playing basketball.
3 stripes on my sleeve.
That means that you played 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Right? Is it on display in one of the
Yes, sir.
the
It's in
cases?
the Hall of Fame.
I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
I think maybe that ought to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame at Springfield, Massachusetts. A guy that can play 3 years who is 4'8". Let me play a record here. You like Joe Stampley?
I do very much, sir.
This is called Double Shot of My Baby's Love.
Woke up this morning, my head was so bad. Worst hangover that I ever had. But what happened to me last night? That girl of mine, she loved me so right. She loved me so long and she loved me so hard. I finally passed out in her front yard. It wasn't wine that I had too much of. It was a double shot of my baby's love. Double shot of my baby's love. A double shot of my baby's love. A potion that I had too much of. It was a double shot of my baby's love. Such a thrill, it was killing me. I was suffering in ecstasy. She had me turning flips and shouting out loud. One sip of her love and I was walking on a cloud. One night a week is a plenty enough. It's a good thing for me they don't bottle that stuff. If my heart begins to fly like a dove when I take a double shot of my baby's love. Double shot of my baby's love. A double shot of my baby's love. A potion that I had too much of. It was a double shot of my baby's love. Double shot of my baby's love. Double shot of my baby's love. It wasn't wine that I had too much of. It was a double shot of my baby's love. Double shot of my baby's love.
Mr. Joe Stampley here on the Ralph Emery Show with Double Shot of My Baby's Love. Why don't you bring on the next fella and tell me what you think of him, Jimmy?
Well, I'm curious about something about here on this record that
All
we have
right.
on here today. I wanted to ask you about it. Yeah, this guy and I are very good friends, and I toured year before last with this young man and opened all of his concert shows, and I don't think I've ever played to more people than I did with Merle Haggard. That's the Way Love Goes is the name of the song. Is that a single by him?
It is now, yes.
Well, fine.
You're thinking you've heard it before. You've heard it by Johnny Rodriguez, and Lefty Frizzell co-wrote it.
Yes, sir.
And that's the same song. And Merle has sung it for years.
I know he has.
Because he likes it.
Surely.
And it is now the title of his new album and single. And that's the song.
All right.
I've been throwing horseshoes over my left shoulder. I've spent most all my life searching for that four-leaf clover, yet you ran with me, chasing my rainbows. Honey, I love you too, and that's the way love goes. That's the way love goes, babe. That's the music God made for all the world to sing. It's never old, it grows. Losing makes me sorry. You say, honey, now don't worry. Don't you know I love you too? And that's the way love goes.
That's the way love goes, babe. That's the music God made for all the world to sing. It's never old, it grows. Losing makes me sorry. And you say, honey, don't worry. Don't you know I love you too? And that's the way love goes. Oh. That's Merle Haggard with That's the Way Love Goes. Just the other day, I was talking with Les Beasley over at the Gospel Singing Jubilee television program, and Les was telling me that many of the letters people write to him ask where they can find a Bible with giant print. Well, here's good news. Gospel Singing Jubilee has made arrangements with a leading publishing house so you can obtain a special giant print Bible. This giant print makes it possible for you to read the Bible with ease, and children love the giant print too. If you write to me today, you can get this beautiful Gospel Singing Jubilee Bible, bound in handsome leather flex binding in rich burgundy for just $13.95, and we'll pay all the postage. To get your giant print Bible, just send your check or money order for $13.95 to Giant Print Bible, Box 8, Nashville, Tennessee, 37202. That's Giant Print Bible, Box 8, Nashville, Tennessee, 37202. Now, how about a song from Gary Morris?
Why, lady, why do you keep me hanging on? Why, lady, why do you treat me like I've come and gone? You better make up your mind, make it or take it on home. Why, lady, why do you tell me that you will if you won't? Why, lady, why do you treat me like you do if you don't? You better make up your mind, make it or take it on home. Well, it's all over town, you've been slipping around, you've been seeing somebody else. I wanna hear it from you, you got some talking to do. What you gotta say for yourself, tell me why, lady, why do you tell me that you will if you won't? Why, lady, why do you treat me like you do if you don't? You better make up your mind, make it or take it on. Around. You've been seeing somebody else. I wanna hear it from you. You got some talking to do. What you gotta say for yourself? Tell me why, lady, why do you tell me that you will if you won't? Why, lady, why do you treat me like you do if you don't? You better make up your mind, make it or take it on. Make up your mind, make it or take it on home.
Gary Morris has had a sensational 1983 with Why, Lady, Why. This is Ralph Emery, and my special guest is Jimmy Dickens, the newest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. And now, Jimmy, I want to go back to the night of October the 10th, 1983, at the Country Music Association Awards show. This had to be an exciting night for you. Did you prepare any sort of speech? Or what we're about to hear in a moment is Barbara Mandrell presenting you with the award. And I thought you made a very nice speech. I just wondered if you worked on that in case you might win.
No, I hadn't worked on what I said at all, because had I thought of anything, I wasn't really expecting to go into the Hall of Fame this year, Ralph, and it was very much of a surprise to me. And I just said what I thought, because while I was up there, I had nothing prepared to say at all, and I just hoped that it was acceptable by everyone.
It was certainly acceptable, and I thought you handled yourself beautifully up
Thank
there
you, sir.
under a pressurized moment. So let's go back to the Grand Ole Opry House stage and Barbara Mandrell.
The people in the Hall of Fame mean a great deal to me personally. And if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be any me. And this year, one more star is being added to the Hall of Fame. A man that has brought his own special brand of music and comedy to country music fans for more than 40 years. And a Grand Ole Opry favorite since 1948. A personal favorite of mine because he taught me a great deal of whatever it is I know. My dear friend, little Jimmy Dickens.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I, tonight, owe a lot of people an awful lot of thanks. I want to thank Mr. Acuff for his faith in me many years ago, and my friend Frank Jones is out there to help me so early in my career, and grateful to him, and to all the folks who have paid to come see our concerts and buy our records. I'm grateful to them, and to the CMA. And there's been times in my career, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't have made it without the love and the understanding of my charming wife, Mona, and my two lovely daughters, Pam and Lisa. I speak for them when I say we are indeed a grateful family. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Jimmy, why did you single out Roy Acuff to thank?
Well, Mr. Acuff is sort of responsible for little Jimmy Dickens being a country music person and a Grand Ole Opry member. He brought me here in 1948.
Barbara, well, let me continue with Roy Acuff for a moment. How did Roy Acuff know about you?
Well, I'd met Mr. Acuff in Cincinnati when I was working at WLW in 1945, and then in later years I'd met him. He came to Saginaw, Michigan, where I was working on a local station there, WKNX, and I guested on his program, and he invited me to come to Nashville as a guest on the Opry, and I was a guest on Mr. Foley's show twice, and then after that he arranged for me to come here.
All right, I guess when you were coming down, you were sort of auditioning. They were taking a look at you, weren't they?
I suppose.
The brand. I'm talking about the executives of the station. Barbara said something about you'd been in show business over 40 years. Is that accurate?
Well, yes, over 40 years. I started out at WJLS in Beckley when I was just still in high school, and I worked with the Bales brothers there, and Johnny and Walter, and then Molly O'Day was with them at that time, and I started out there actually before that with my Uncle Finley and a couple of boys that were twins, the Akard twins.
You're kidding.
I was crowing like a rooster to open the station in the morning.
We'll come back to that. Crowing, I'm writing this down. Crowing like a rooster.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about one of your most famous songs. Take an Old Cold Tater and Wait. Did you write it?
No, I didn't write it. I'd been singing this song. I got it during World War II when I was working at WIBC in Indianapolis. I learned it from a boy named Sonny Grubbs, and I did it on radio for, I guess, 8 or 9 years before I came to the Opry, and we did it on the Opry, and the folks seemed to enjoy it, so Mr. Rose has suggested that that'd be the first song that we record.
Would you say this is your most famous song?
Yes, I would say that.
Because we called you the Tater with much affection, and it's because of this song. So let's play it.
When I was a little boy around the table at home, I remember very well when company would come. I would have to be right still until the whole crowd ate. My mom always said to me, Jim, take a tater and wait. Taters never did taste good with chicken on the plate, but I had to eat them just the same. And that is why it looks bad to have these beauty ways, because I always had to take an old cold tater and wait. Well, I thought that I'd starve to death before my time would come. All that chicken they would eat and just leave Jim the bun. The feet and neck are all that's left upon the china plate. It makes you pretty darn weak to take an old cold tater and wait. Taters never did taste good with chicken on the plate, but I had to eat them just the same. And that is why it looks bad to have these beauty ways, because I always had to take an old cold tater and wait. And then the preachers, they would come to stay a while with us. I would have to slip around and raise a little fuss, in fear that I might spill the beans or break a china plate. My mama always said to me, Jim, take a tater and wait. Taters never did taste good with chicken on the plate, but I had to eat them just the same. That is why it looks bad to have these beauty ways, because I always had to take an old cold tater and wait.
That's a country music classic by Jimmy Dickens, our guest and the newest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. And I guess, Jimmy, to really identify with that, you have to have been born out in the country.
I was raised in the hills of West Virginia in the coal mining area, and I know something about taking an old cold tater and waiting.
And that's the name of the song you've just heard. Take an old cold tater and wait. Up next on the Ralph Emery Get Together, here's Crystal Gale.
We kiss goodnight and we turn out the lights. We lay side by side in the dark, and we're waiting for sleep or a spark. But the night's on the run and the spark does not come, and we quietly worry and wander, and the silence is louder than thunder, and it rings with the sound of goodbye. It rings with the sound of goodbye. I can't even tell you just why. It may be the truth or it may be a lie, but it sounds like the sound of goodbye. there's another true love going down. We can talk about promises, talk about lies, but there's no use in pointing our fingers, and the sound of our love still lingers, but it rings with the sound of goodbye. It rings with the sound of goodbye. I can't even tell you just why. It may be the truth, or it may be a lie, but it sounds like the sound of goodbye. Time is forever, but love is a fire, and one day it's 1 degree colder, and the clock's ticking over your shoulder, and it ticks 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 with the sound of goodbye. I can't even tell you just why. It may be the truth, or it may be a lie, but it sounds like the sound of goodbye. Sound of goodbye. I can't even tell you just why. It may be the truth, or it may be a lie, but it sounds like the sound of goodbye. Sound of goodbye. I can't even tell you just why.
That's Crystal Gale singing The Sound of Goodbye. And now, friends, I want you to do me a little favor, if you would. First, turn up your radio a bit, then go to your kitchen. Now, open the drawer where you keep your best cutting knives and tell me honestly, do you see even one knife in there with a 50-year guarantee? Well, if you do, chances are you own a set of Ginsu knives, the only set of knives in the world tough enough to carry such an incredible guarantee. And if you don't, then you don't know what you're missing. You know, a while back, the folks that sell these Ginsu knives sent me a set to try, and I gotta tell you, this is one product no country kitchen should be without. Whether you're cutting up steaks, slicing melon, or filleting fresh catfish, Ginsu's razor-sharp surgical stainless steel blades will handle any cutting job with ease. You get the world's first dual-edged chef's knife, with both a straight edge and a serrated edge to help you cut even the toughest slicing jobs down to size. You'll get an oriental cleaver with built-in meat tenderizer that chops any vegetable into perfect cooking slices in seconds and dices onions so fast you'll be amazed. And you get a long slicing knife with a perpetual edge that actually gets sharper with every use. It'll slice up a honey-glazed ham quicker and easier than an electric knife. But that's not all, folks, because Ginsu 2 also comes with 2 paring knives, so you'll always have one handy, a utility knife so tough and sharp it can cut through linoleum, and a fruit and vegetable knife that'll section a grapefruit or orange in the wink of an eye. And to top it all off, you even get 6 world-famous Ginsu steak knives. These razor-sharp knives will glide through even the toughest T-bone quicker than anything you've ever seen. You get the entire 13-piece Ginsu knife set guaranteed in writing for 50 years for the amazing price of only $19.99. Honestly, folks, you'll never find better quality knives for less. Visa and MasterCard customers call toll-free 1-800-453-6900 or send $19.99 to Ginsu, care of Ralph Emery, Box 8R, Nashville, Tennessee, 37202. You know, Jimmy, you mentioned a moment ago to me, well, Jimmy Dickens is my guest, that you used to crow like a rooster on the radio.
Yeah, that was before.
Why?
I didn't know enough songs. We signed the station on early in the morning at 5 o'clock. Was kind of one of those sun up to sundown stations, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so when we were the first ones on, and I'd crow like the rooster, and they'd open the station up.
Well, would they play the national anthem?
Oh, before.
They'd play the national anthem, then you'd go.
Crow like a rooster.
Can you still do it?
No. I wouldn't even try it.
Then you mentioned you played with a group I've never heard of, the Acorn Twins?
Acorn, A-C-O-R-D.
Oh, I thought there was somebody named after an acorn. Okay, I thought they had to be from Ohio or someplace like that. How about bringing on the next song here? This is a little 50s rock number.
Yeah, and this old boy's come a long ways and had some big hits. Johnny Lee will sing My Baby Don't Slow Dance.
My baby won't fast
I stepped into the bar. The entrepreneur lessons didn't make it that far. She's got a little problem with a heavy backbeat. She's never really ever been that light on her feet. Moody's mood for love was never quite enough. My baby don't slow dance. She don't slow dance anymore. My baby don't slow dance. She don't slow dance anymore. And when the band starts playing my favorite beat, she won't leave her seat. My baby don't slow dance anymore. Ow! Well, I took her down the road and on a Saturday night. Check the shine on my shoe, check my tie, I'm alright. The band was playing old Gene at his best. Dorsey and Basie, they was feeling the rest. We were swinging, singing in the groove. But when the band calmed down, she got kinda rude. She don't slow dance. She don't slow dance anymore. My baby don't slow dance. She don't slow dance anymore. And when the band starts playing my favorite beat, she won't leave her seat. My baby don't slow dance anymore. My baby don't slow dance. She don't slow dance anymore. My baby don't slow dance. She don't slow dance anymore. And when the band starts playing my favorite beat, she won't leave her seat. My baby don't slow dance anymore. My baby don't slow dance anymore. She just don't slow dance anymore.
That's Johnny Lee singing My Baby Don't Slow Dance. Jimmy, I want you to bring on Charlie Pride, if you will, and your comments, please. When Charlie Pride first came into country music show business, were you shocked that we had a black country singer?
Well, I think everybody was a little bit. I'd just be, honest in saying that. I thought everybody was, but I guess everyone was wondering how he was going to be accepted. But boy, you can't stop a talent like that.
Yeah, one of the things that crossed my mind, I was afraid he was really going to get his feelings hurt.
You were?
Yes, I was. I was afraid that he would be rejected.
Yes, sir.
And, that's terrible to be rejected for whatever reason. But he certainly wasn't.
No, by no means.
And he has another hit. This is it.
The night is filled with lonely souls, arms that ache for someone to hold, and hungry eyes forever searching, like hearts adrift on an endless sea, prisoners of hope and elusive dreams are looking for love. That passion's burning. Everyone, maybe once in their life, needs someone to light up the night. Oh, baby, baby, every heart should have one. Every heart needs a taste of love, to touch the fire, to feel the rush. Oh, baby, baby, every heart should have one. Looking for rainbows and finding the rain. Never thought love would come my way. Then you came along and woke the dreamer. Oh, just one night in your loving arms rearranged my life and changed my heart. Your true loving ways made a believer. Everyone, maybe once in their life, Every heart should have one. Every heart should have one.
Charlie Pride with Every Heart Should Have One. I'd like to tell you about Music City News, the world's favorite country music publication from Nashville. It's filled with facts about the stars, exclusive stories and photographs, and schedules of personal appearances. Plus, you'll vote for your favorite performers in the Music City News Awards. Only subscribers are eligible to vote. Subscribe today and receive 15 issues for the price of 12 by sending your check for $12 to Music City News, Box 8, Nashville, Tennessee, 37202. That's $12 to Music City News, Box 8, Nashville, Tennessee, 37202. Another Jimmy Dickens classic coming up here. Jim, when you were a kid, they would take you out behind the barn?
I knew you was going to ask that. There's something about that song I must tell you. I was doing a television show here at WSM with Johnny Wright and Kitty Wells and here at the station, and after that show was over, Boodle O'Brien called me on the phone at home. I hadn't been home 10 minutes, and he said, I wrote a song while you were doing Plain Old Country Boy. That was one of his songs, too. But he said, I watched you do it on TV, and I wrote this song while you were doing that song, while you were doing that number.
The key line in this song is, I received my education out behind the barn.
My pappy used to tan my hide out behind the barn. He taught me to be dignified out behind the barn. When he took his strap to me, turned me down across his knee, he sure did hurt my dignity out behind the barn. I smoked my first cigarette out behind the barn. Now that's a day I won't forget out behind the barn. I got sick, you should have seen how that tobacco turned me green. I almost died from nicotine out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn. I ain't fooling no siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn, and it almost made a wreck out of me. I met a pretty girl one day out behind the barn. She wanted me to stay and play out behind the barn. She taught me to kiss and pet. That's a game I won't forget. We still play the same game yet out behind the barn. I sure would like to go again out behind the barn and do some things that I did then out behind the barn. You might think it ain't no fun to be a poor old farmer's son. You just don't know what all I've done out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn. I ain't fooling no siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn, and it almost made a wreck out of me.
That's our guest, newest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Jimmy Dickens with Out Behind the Barn. Jimmy, tomorrow, Willie Nelson has some interesting comments he wants to make about you, and we're going to share those with our listeners. I thank you for being my guest.
It's certainly been a pleasure, Ralph. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to being with you tomorrow.
Jimmy Dickens, our guest star, and we'll see you tomorrow, too.